You know me.
Let's get ready to rumble.
He gave his heart to the wrong ones, low-key they hate he living. I got a question for the Lord, why he make me with feelings? Leave easy money and take me, that's just the way it hit me. Real love just don't exist to me, no more due to pain. Just needed help, no one was there, they left me out in the rain. Out by myself, I'm just a child, so I don't know what to think. Had so much pain, can't see me crying, can't see me crying, can't see me crying, can't see me crying.
Keeping my distance, they starting to bother me. Cause bitch, you a nuisance. Sometimes you come in, you gotta know, bitch, we be the hottest ticket. Okay, cool, you dance, but show me that you can flip it. Need it in the van, she got a problem, we fix it. See the game, I soak it up. Build up just like so, sit down. Can you imagine Spitfire just like Dragon, like that band from Nevada? Now they want answers, trying to get to the bottom. Cause we the big stars like Patrick my home. Bitch, I'm a cheap blowing pack by the O. Why they outside look questionable? I see they part outside, I know they watching me. Underneath the street lights, see the smoke pouring out the Jeep. Watch it, they low-key stalking. Watch it, I know they watching me. I said,
it's a plot twist, so I twist the plot for this. I'm your first choice, leave you with no option is. She an old school bitch, still wearing rompers and shit. Watching Oprah 4, feeling accomplished and shit. Live, love, laugh, I'm an F-fuck. Telling all the PTA moms that I'm bad for. I know this private account, probably your husband, but you can tell him chill on the cops, don't plan on cuffing. I said the spotlight is starting to feel right. This what life gon' be like. All I hear is these guys. The spotlight is starting to feel right. This what life gon' be like. All I hear is these guys.
Ain't nothing but suffering, promise I'm
Take it back.
What? There it is.
The one and only DJ.
None of them bullets hit me. Shook his hand and he was gone. Thankful when I make it home. Chains like Megatron. Ops be egging me on. While we choosing sides amongst teams. Together we strong. To me, mama, let the man through. Honestly, I'm undefeated. I didn't seem let the man lose. Red ones, veteran shoes. Naked and famous denim. She naked and famous too. Can't help if I'm famous too. Passing SBs back in 09. Bobby had his Space Jams. Ice when I showed mine. They mixed their stories up with lies. Then I told mine. Maybe an honest cool. Once or twice on honor rules. Still brought a gun to school. I was really scared to go to war. But that don't mean I wouldn't do it. Chances are I probably shoot a gang and never had to prove it. Perks of being real. Made my lane and made some music. Perks of being real. Never had the truth, but privacy is key. My dream is something that a lot of eyes couldn't see. Fighting for support, I know it's hard to believe a nigga make it past the mountains that we see. And no, duh. Let it ride. Baby blue beach cruising slide like B-roll strap, cause they don't fight fair when your first name lethal. Money don't change you, money change people. Money change car colors, black no Camino. SS super sport, super Saiyan style. Still screaming Southside, see street smile. And when you wake up from your dream, go to work. I bet I'll wake up from my dream and go to work. Money don't change you, Money change people, money change car colors, black El Camino, SS Super Sport, Super Saiyan style, still screaming Southside, C Street smile. I see.
Look out the window, what do I see? A couple yachts, I got some thoughts that track the 7 seas. Got CCs and Louis V's out of every season. Carter me please, 4 G's, make them stop breathing. Must've just hit the new Ferrari, I just might cop me one. They can't be rich, they just trying to make a carbon copy of them. Counting up the snoo money, every single day I'm home. I ain't worried about what they be on. You do what you can, I live a lifestyle on the daily homes. Braces on my right wrist, I got 80 on, my fragrance strong. My bitch on top with tape in, she don't ride it with no lace on. The lean port, the ace gone, the double R, the gray stone. The inside blueberry and the outside is 8. Look out the window, what do I see? A couple yachts, they got some thoughts that track the 7 seas. Got CCs and Louis V's out of every season. Carter me please, 4 G's, make them stop breathing. It's hard to stomach that. I'm out running laps and I ain't coming back. Maybach jumping like a jumping jack. Off the mumble rap, where Roddy at? I be chasing chicken, had to cut the fat. Only wear it one time, did a show, forgot to cut the tag. Another day, another seal, another deal, another bag. Was 19, charting up the jets, I'm in another class. Niggas couldn't even tell I was out getting cash. Graduated from the streets, I ain't gotta bring up my past. Look out the window, what do I see? A couple yachts, they got some thoughts that track the 7 seas. Got CCs and Louis V's out of every season. Carter me please, 4 G's, make them stop breathing. Look out the window. Shut up! Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing no. Oh shit! Say it again. Say something else. Oh! Say something else. Say something else. Look.
I tell them, shh, be quiet. You don't wanna start a riot. I tell them, shh, shut the fuck up. Cause you about to get fucked up. Nigga, tell them, shh, be quiet. Cause it's about to be a riot. And my niggas yelling, shh, shut the fuck up. Cause you about to get fucked up, nigga. STF, you bitch, you out of order. You know that nigga dad smoke more than a quota. You talk too much, hey yo, bitch, you always yapping. You know I got to make it happen, nigga. I don't give a fuck. It's unexplainable. That's how you feel, young nigga. I don't name a few. See, I don't tattletale. See where they do that. See, you the type of nigga that I always knew that. You know I'm yelling. Be quiet. You need to take some advice, yeah, try it. Nigga, try I say, shut the fuck up. I'm waiting for you when your niggas tryna run up. Better be careful. That's on my mama. You know I give it to you right. You know I love the drama. I tell them, you know they act up. That's when we rack up. Nigga, that's when they pack up like. Tell them, be quiet. You don't wanna start a riot. I tell them, shut the fuck up. Cause you about to get fucked up. Nigga, tell them, be quiet. Cause it's about to be a riot. And my niggas yelling, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Cause you about to get fucked up.
You niggas fucking lying.
Yeah. It's your boy Quano and I roll with the S-Mine. With all this cash money, I got all this cash on me. New money, blue money, I'm tired. I don't know why I tried. Said I'ma fuck her one time, then I hit again. Turning pennies to a dime, out you hit the net. Pepper cream soda, got the woody on them double cups. 20 bags on, just hit the road and make it double up. I did this by my lonely, on my own, I had to level up. Trap out with my OG, cooking Yola, run a cheddar. Cash out on the road, the wrist so frozen, I could change the weather. All the Murray's golden, no corona, that shit sick as fuck. Pass it to the homie like a Romo, then she thick as fuck. I done cashed out on so many cars, I need a Bentley truck. Man, I might cash out on your body, I can hit him up. As I pop a test from my Versace and Balenciaga. Bad bitch look like cashed out, she's a hottie just like Medestein. Stylish got me running around the lobby, Michael Mary fly. A million, that ain't nothing to me, I ran that shit up more than once. I'm really from the streets and ain't nobody put me on. I like my bitches like my cars, I swear to God that all I'm for. My closet worth about 200, a Mary sneaks I never wore. Bad bitches like Lauren London, shop beside designer stores. Clean up crew, we do our chores, I count up blues every time I'm bored. All blue that adventure door, I make that shit say neighborhood. I can make a 10 or 4, just break them down and sell them home. We get them in and get them gone, your bitch like I put it on them. Hollywood, yeah, I'm known. I came for catching sales on clones. Digit scales in California, go to jail, they try to clone you. Pay for keeps, we put you under AMG like fuck a Honda. Pepper cream soda, got the woody on them double cups. 20 bags of OGs, hit the road and make it double up. I did this by my lonely, on my own, I had to level up. Trap out with my OG, cooking Yola, run a chatter up. Cash out on the road, your wrist so frozen, I can change the weather. All the models golden, no corona, that shit sick as fuck. Pass it to the homie like a Romo, that shit thick as fuck. I done cashed out on so many cars, I need a Bentley truck. Man, I might cash out on your body, I can hit him up. As I pop a tag from my Versace and Balenciaga. Bad bitch look like cashed out, she's a hottie just like Medestein. Stylish got me running around the lobby, Michael Mary fly. Carter left his whole damn mom in the rim. Rich water, I bet I could fuck Miss Parker, she a 10. Different color bitches, sorta like Crayola, I could pick. Roll the riches, throw that bench right off his sport mode, let it hit. Nowadays, jump off the porch, you need a glizzy with a switch. Cartiers, I can see the hate, they know I'm super rich. Bar day, with no license plates, we rock out with them sticks. Bar way, with my 50K,
The one and only DJ CJ.
The smooth operator is DJ CJ.
Who's ready for some fun? Who enjoys a podcast where the host speaks about what's on their minds and doesn't hold back? PD&J, What's Good Today, is an open format podcast hosted by Pocket and J-Dub the King. Let's talk about sports, let's talk about music, let's just have an interesting conversation. If you have any topics for us to discuss, email pdnjmediaproductionsllc@gmail.com. Tune in to PD&J What's Good Today every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube Live at J-Dub the King.
What's good, folks? How you doing today? Y'all already know what it is. Brand new week, brand new Wednesday, brand new episode of PD&J What's Good Today. I'm your host, Jay.
No podcast, no cry. No podcast, no cry. Oh wait, sorry. I was in the mix. What's up, folks? It's Pocket. We are here. And as you see, Jay is wearing his son's jersey because there's a new guy in the Valley that's supposed to get them to a championship. If you're sleeping under a rock, you probably didn't know that Kevin Durant's in the building. Like he's in Arizona on the Phoenix Suns, making his home debut tonight.
Today. So I got to support. No, I don't have my KD jersey yet, but that is in the works. So I'm getting that. What about you? You get one?
No podcast, no cry.
Not dealing with this man today. Let's just jump right into it, folks. We got a lot to talk about today. So let's just jump right on into it, folks.
The crisscross makes you jump.
So,
jump.
I want to give my condolences first and foremost. I feel like we do that almost every week. But to the 2 Americans that was killed in Mexico, also my hearts go out to the 2 surviving ones. Tragic, very tragic. Very, very tragic situation that happened down there.
You stop being so dramatic, man, and just
my conspiracy.
Tragic. Tragic. You wasted 10 seconds saying tragic.
Tragic. I'll say it one more time. Tragic. But yeah.
Stop being so cheap, y'all. Trying to get BBLs in Mexico.
Yeah, I was gonna go there
because obviously you're being watched.
So that's all it was. They were watched from when they got to the border to whenever, and they probably were talking about it. People overheard it, and they knew they could pick them right out of the bunch. So yeah,
So here's what happened. 4 individuals, 4 friends, went to Mexico. They had a city in Mexico.
They went right across the Texas border to a.
I can't pronounce the city's name.
Is it Sinaloa?
No, they didn't go to Sinaloa.
No, that's one of the
cartels.
No, what they said is that's one of the places you don't go.
Yeah.
So
they went past that though. They went.
What they said was it was a border town to San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
So they didn't go past Sinaloa. They went to a border town right across San Antonio. And when they got there, they were stopped by men in armed gear and everything.
Well, one report on CNN says that they got lost trying to find the medical facility, and that on CNN they had a report that said that they got lost, and then a shootout happened, and then they got hit in the cross. 2 of them got hit in the crossfire of the shootout.
That doesn't sound anything remotely like what
that's what CNN was reporting on what I read today.
Because they were, what it was from what I understood, they were kidnapped and then they were finally found in the woods.
No, I don't know
where the shootout came into play.
Friday when they got there, they were looking for the medical facility. They got lost. They called the medical facility, trying to get directions to it, and in the process, that's when the whole shootout kidnapping thing happened, and then they found them, 2 of them that were dead. One of them was shot in the leg, and then the woman that was supposed to go down there to get the surgery, she wasn't harmed, ironically. So, but here's where a lot of the conspiracy theorists are coming in. Because I think we talked about it maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, how there was a big drug bust out here in Arizona. $4.5 million worth of the cartel's product. Now all of a sudden 4 Americans come up missing. They're trying to connect the 2 pieces. They're saying that there's more to this story than what's being reported.
Matamoros. That's what it's called. Matamoros.
Matamoros. Okay. Is that how you pronounce it? I couldn't pronounce it. Okay.
There's no such thing. They're not talking about. They said one of the survivors suffered a gunshot wound during the rescue, not when that. I'm reading the thing now and said they're trying to understand why the 2 Americans died, because there was no. That's why I'm looking at the thing right now. They said they don't understand what happened, how those 2 died. They said that the most likely explanation is that of the abduction is a group case of mistaken identity.
Yeah, they thought that they were Haitian drug smugglers. That's what the report in CNN said, that they thought they were Haitian drug smugglers of the mistaken identity.
But the Mexican officials came through. That's what matters. I mean, usually people talk about how corrupt the Mexican police department is, and they actually came through. 2 people came. 2 people are going home. All 4 bodies are going home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you can ask for.
But do you think that the Mexican officials stepped in because the press was there? If it was, there's kidnappings that happen in Mexico all the time.
Happen in Mexico. Just let's stop with trying to create a conspiracy when people are dead. There's no closure yet. Let's not create a conspiracy ahead of knowing all the facts. There's no facts to know right now. So, and that's what you got to say. That's number one thing as Americans we do. We create a conspiracy when we don't even know what the hell is going on. Since we don't know what's going on, we create a conspiracy. We need to stop doing that. Which, I mean, eventually, that's what's gonna happen. As a whole, but we just need to stop doing that.
Well, the thing, but like I said at the beginning, we're not going to dwell too much on that aspect of it. Condolences to the ones to all of that all families that's affected, because that's for individual families that are affected by this. So that's just, now there's a ban lift, or not a ban, but a travel ban or a warning, I should say. Travel warning.
So here's the thing. Apparently, it's been a warning for a while.
It has been. It has been.
There's certain areas that they say you shouldn't travel to, like Mexico. It just goes to show, even if you travel in a group, you're not safe.
No, you're not.
And you can't take your gun across the border, because if you do, you're going to end up in a Mexican jail. So, at this point,
be careful. Like my mother, I know she travels to Rocky Point frequently. You know what I mean?
No, Rocky Point's not one of the hot spots.
It's not a hot spot, but they did say on Fox News today that it's one of the reconsider your travels during the spring break. One of them on the list.
It's always on the list for that.
Yeah,
it really is on the list for that. But I mean, I personally have never been to Rocky Point.
No,
I keep hearing about it. I've never been.
No, it's nice. I mean, depending on what part you go to, it's definitely it's an experience. It is an experience. Believe it or not, I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
I've been there a few times.
You have? I've lived here my whole life and I've never been.
Don't go during this time of the year.
Not an interest of me going either.
Go this time of year. Well, no, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Go if you want to. Just take your heavy coat and your gloves.
Right. You did go like this time last year, right? Or was it 2 years ago?
No, it was last year, and it was beginning of February.
Okay. How did that work out for you?
So the warning I just gave you, folks, if you could have saw the pictures that I had, I looked miserable. I had a hoodie on. I had my, not a hoodie. I had my big jacket. Thanks to Macy's, shout out to Macy's department store because they had the jackets on sale. I think it was like 60% off or something like that. So I got the jacket ridiculously cheap. I had that on. I had my skull cap on, and the wind was blowing. I had gloves on. I had the hoodie on from the hat, the hood on from the hat, and I was like, hey, this is miserable. I remember now why I do not live in the East Coast anymore.
Well, we talked about that. Again, let's move on to something else. Kingman, Arizona. For those that don't know, this kind of been swept up under the rug, and we kind of want to bring light to it. There was a 16-year-old boy whose body was discovered wrapped in a blanket in a well-traveled area in Kingman, Arizona, in Mojave County, Arizona. They arrested 3 individuals. 2 of them happens to be the parents of
the stepfather,
stepfather,
and another gentleman. Which I mean, we'll give you our thoughts on what we think happened.
They haven't released in detail what happened. We can only speculate based off the information that was provided. So here's what was provided. The stepfather there was a 14-year-old daughter or stepdaughter that was involved. That was abused by the stepfather. Apparently, there was no reports of it previously. So what we can speculate is that maybe...
Well, here's the reason why it wasn't reports, which we can actually say this. She said she was scared to do it. Okay. She also said that he shot her in the eye with a BB gun.
With a BB gun.
Which, that's what it prompted her mother to take her to the hospital. And that's where the mother confessed to lying to the police about her son missing. She knew he was dead the day they said he was missing. They went to the house, they arrested the father, and somehow the other gentleman was arrested too. What do I think? When the daughter came out and said she was abused in the house, put 2 plus 2 together, folks. I'm not trying to be graphic, but I'm quite sure the brother probably found out and may have probably tried to make a stand, maybe with the BB gun or something, and he ended up getting killed. And I think when the mother, instead of defending her children, not doing the parental thing, instead of defending her children, she, this isn't speculation. This is my speculation on it. She said, well, I'm going to report him missing, but we're not going to bury him like normal people in the middle of Arizona. You bury him in the desert, right? No, she wanted her son to be found so he can probably have a proper burial. They wrapped him in a rug. They put him in a well-traveled area. And, yeah.
Again, speculation.
It's all speculation. But it kind of makes sense that the 2 gentlemen probably are the ones that moved the body from the house or wherever it was to wherever it was found. No excuses for this. One, as a parent, you're supposed to protect your children.
This is just heartbreaking all around. A child lost his life, and then they tried to cover it up.
I'm going to say this. At least they didn't blame it on black people or Mexicans. It gives you an idea who did it.
Now that's a whole nother dynamic of a conversation.
That is a whole dynamic. That's usually what happens. They always say, "Oh yeah, it was some big black dude in a hoodie, or this big Mexican guy, you know, and he had his friends with him, and I couldn't understand what they were saying." That's what the dynamic they always put out there. But at least this time they didn't do. Well, at least it wasn't reported that they did that. It was reported that they said he was missing. So,
well, folks, I don't know if you heard about this story or not, but once we get more information on it, we definitely will keep you informed as we normally do with this developing story. Now, Chris Rock, his special. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
I watched it. Here's the thing. Not to knock this man's craft or not, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of very much. You know that? Because every time I tell you about, oh yeah, I don't like that person. Oh, I like that person.
I'm not a fan of Chris Rock. Like, he's not for me, my personality and my taste, he doesn't appeal funny to me. He doesn't. I understand why he did the special. There was parts of it, and he had every right to say what he said.
Did he though?
Certain parts of it, I think he kind of went a little bit too far.
Well,
I think he kind of went a little bit too far.
I'm speaking from what the reviews I've seen of it and the families that he's talked about in there. I'm going to start with the Jackson family first.
Okay.
When Michael Jackson's kids, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't his child. It was his niece or nephew came out and said, "My family has been the brunt of all your jokes for years. It needs to stop. Thank you, Will Smith."
Okay. Wow.
Other women have come out and said, Chris Rock has been known to talk about black women in a negative aspect.
way, yeah.
And echoing the fact of, again, thank you, Will Smith. Then you got the other side. Well, he needed to get it out. This is his therapy. This is what he is. He's a comedian, so he needs to talk about it.
But did he really have to go to the aspect of borderline calling Jada Pinkett out of her name multiple times?
Well, the whole thing is, he's been doing that for years. It's just that now it's a highlight on it. He's been doing it for years. Go back and look at all his specials. When he talks about her, it's always highlighted. Women, black women, period. He talks about them, calling them out of their names. My whole issue with it is, you came from a black woman, sir. I'm quite sure you don't call your mother that out of your own mouth. So why do you do that against other black women? Is there a hatred you have towards your own mother? Are you a character assassinator for no reason? Are you
hasn't he been doing that for a majority of his career, is assassinating people's character? That's what made him Chris Rock.
Bro, I don't think that's not what made him Chris Rock. I think his voice, his distinct voice, that's what really, because to me, a lot of his jokes aren't funny. It's just not how he portrays them, how he brings them to the table. That's what does it for him. It's his, like, there's a lot of comedians that have no stage presence. And they could be funny, but because they have no stage presence, they're not getting their point across. Him, he has a way to get a point across that's not funny. But the way he portrays it, the way he brings it to the table, that's what makes him funny. That's what he's known for. Think about it. Think about the parts he's played in movies.
Would you put him as a top 5 comedian?
I don't know about a top 5.
Okay.
But then again,
we can agree on that.
Well, actually, I'll put it this way. Can you name 5 comedians that you put above him?
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor.
So Eddie Murphy really doesn't do comedy anymore.
No. Are we talking about currently doing comedy?
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh, I'm just talking about in general.
In general, then there's no way in hell I put him. That's what I said.
Okay.
Right now, can you find 5?
Kevin Hart, Deion Cole. I would say Eddie Murphy, but he's not doing comedy anymore. Who else? Patrice O'Neal, if he was still alive. Man, but I see. Okay, so you wouldn't put him in your top 5 as far as all time.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Now, here's the funny thing. I kind of set you up. I didn't think you could find 5 comedians, but the one you didn't mention, which I thought you would be Gary Owen.
Gary Owen, yeah.
Kevin Hart,
of course.
Deion Cole. I'll give him that. I watched this special a few times.
Would you put Earthquake up there right now?
Earthquake's always been high.
He's been hot, but he's not. He's not funny to me like that.
What did I tell you, folks? What did I tell you?
There's certain people that's just not funny to me, but their presence, like you said, their stage presence kind of gives them that highlight. Like Earthquake can hit and miss with me.
Mike, I'm going to ask you, Mike. Have you ever seen Earthquake specials, and what do you think?
His new special or any special?
I said specials. I didn't say his new special. Special. All of Earthquake stuff is hilarious from beginning to end. Hilarious. It gets you a belly laugh. Matter of fact, this past New Year's Eve, didn't really throw a party. We just had a chill situation. We just sat back and we literally wanted to watch some of the comedy specials that were going on. And we watched Deion Cole. We watched Earthquake. Oh my gosh. I can't think of his name. He comes here too quite a bit. It'll come to me. He used to be big. He had lap band surgery. I can't think of his name.
Are you talking about Fluffy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gabriel Iglesias. Thank you. Yeah. I forgot about him. Actually, he's funny for a certain
He's
thing.
funny.
When I watched his special, though, it got dry.
I'll put George Lopez above.
I don't actually with George Lopez. I'm not going there. Nope. I will not put him against Chris Rock. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
He's racist against he's another Chris Rock. He's racist against his own people.
Yeah.
And you want to put him up there? Okay, I'll put them in the same category.
He's not funnier than Chris Rock.
I don't agree with that one. Because he's to the point where his own people don't even.
Look, Mike said he's all right. He ain't.
So wait. Well, who's he talking about? Are we talking about Earthquake or are we talking George Lopez?
I think he was talking about Earthquake. I think he was talking about Earthquake. We'll see though. But yeah, so I don't know. I think he borderline almost crossed that line.
Almost. I mean, like I said, if you look at the feedback he's getting off the special. Now, here's the thing.
People are talking about it. He got his $22.5 million worth.
That's what I was getting to.
He got his money's worth.
What sells? Controversy. What controversy he has? What is the name of it? Isn't it called I'm Still Relevant or something like that?
What, the name of his special?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the title of it.
I think it's called I'm Still Relevant or something relevant. It's on Netflix, y'all. It's on Netflix. But so go check it out. I'm going to check it out eventually. I got other stuff I'm going to watch right now. Like 1923 and I've been watching we've been watching a lot of crap. Station 19, watching old shows like that. So I got other stuff I need to watch before I get that. Oh, he said Earthquake's okay.
See? So he kind of agrees with me.
No. You said he's not funny. That's what you said.
He doesn't appeal to my funny bone.
But then again,
he hits or miss.
Who appeals to your funny bone? There's every comedian that does it, hit or miss. Except for one. Actually, I take that back. There's one comedian I can guarantee that is always pretty much on point with funny.
And who is that?
And that's Kevin Hart.
I will give you that. Kevin Hart is funny. Deion Cole is funny. Gabriel Iglesias is funny as hell.
Again, like I said, his last special when we watched it, it was over an hour long with him, and it just got dry after a while.
Did it?
It got really dry.
One person that I wish would come back on the circuit is Jeff Dunn. Now that dude is funny.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't mention Simone.
Simone? See, and I got a thing for Simone, but it's not. I don't know how.
And I'm going to throw another female comedian out there who my wife and I saw, and she was hilarious. Kate Quigley. She's another one.
She is funny. She's funny in a quirky way. I'll give you that. She's funny in a quirky way.
That's because she talks about her life, and her situations, and that will really make kind of like Kevin Hart talking about themselves and their situations that go on in their life. What makes it way more funny than I'm still trying to think of the guy. Oh my gosh, I gotta look him up.
So if you haven't seen Chris Rock's special, me personally, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to see what the controversy is about, go and catch it. Moving on. Rochester, New York. Y'all gotta do better.
Oh my God, we got a Cedric the Entertainer. Oh wait, keep going.
So, for those that don't know what I'm talking about in regards to
Lavelle Crawford, I figured it out.
Lavelle?
Yes, he's hilarious.
He's all right.
somebody that supports black people, you sure don't support black comedians.
He's all right. He's all right.
Yes, I'm calling him out, folks.
But Rochester, New York. So what happened in Rochester is this. There was a concert. It was supposed to be a Glorilla and a Finesse 2 Times concert. And somebody reported a shooting or said that there was a shooting in the club, which caused a stampede. Now, the aftermath of this stampede was that there was 3 people injured, 2 people dead from the stampede. But here's the thing. There wasn't any gunshots fired.
It's not funny, y'all.
It's not funny, but you're laughing. What you laughing at? Go ahead, say it. I'm waiting. Go ahead, say it.
Why am I laughing? First of all, how many of daggone Glorilla songs got a gunshot in it? So you're not used to that? Second thing, you're in Rochester, New York, bro. It's not that bad there. It's interesting, but it's not that bad. It really isn't. Like he said, Rochester, you get the jackass of the week. I'm sorry.
Wow, we take a serious moment and you go completely like how explain that one to me. How did they get jackass of the week?
First of all, okay, I guess maybe because I'm in tune to that. I know what a real gunshot sounds like. So for one person to create a stampede, that person needs to go to jail because they created chaos out of nothing. Now, here's my thing. Are they going to sue Glorilla? Because, I mean, this whole woke concert thing. Are they going to sue Glorilla? Because somebody got stampeded at her concert, right? So that means she should get sued. According to the way things work now, she should be getting sued because people got stampeded at her concert.
But Travis Scott got that case dismissed, though, right?
That's not the point I'm saying. She still did get sued. Yeah, it's been dismissed, but that's not the point. Is she getting sued? That's the question. Regardless if it got dismissed, is she getting sued? Because remember, they sued him, and then they tried to say it was oh my gosh, I'm talking to you conspiracy people. Come back and say, oh my gosh, the Travis Scott thing, it was a satanic worship thing. It was a satanic suicide exodus.
Who says that?
Dude, even my wife showed me the one thing. And then when I started looking, are you kidding? You people have nothing better to do than talk about that. Now, I didn't tell you about this. I watched the new House Party.
Okay.
And it was hilarious. And the best thing about it to me was they made fun of the Illuminati. It was hilarious. They had Kid Cudi in there. Kid Cudi was like a part of the Illuminati. I don't want to give it away, but just watch it, folks. They made fun of the Illuminati, and I thought that was the funniest thing to me. Like, you know what? Y'all want to keep talking about this? We're going to put this in the movie and show you how stupid you look. Because you waste your time on conspiracies when your time should be more wasted on well, number one, why is Congress trying to cancel a social media app? Didn't hear about that? Yeah, they were voting on Clayton and TikTok again. Instead of voting on people's rights, what to do, how to make the police better without shooting first, without doing their job, serving the people, protecting and serving. I believe it's not, I don't think it's serve at your own will. It's protect and serve all. And that should be all people, all walks of life. I don't see that happening. But you guys want to concentrate on Illuminati. You want to concentrate on canceling Chris Rock. You want to concentrate on canceling Will Smith. You want to concentrate on who Diddy is sleeping with. I don't give a damn. That's not going to affect. That's not going to do something for me. How about worrying about getting rid of the IRS that is useless? How about worrying about that? How about putting the effort you're putting into looking at these conspiracies, focusing on the things that are going to make a difference in your life, so that way you can sit there and not necessarily have Diddy type money, not necessarily have Kid Cudi money or whoever's money, but you can have more than what you got now. Let's start focusing on that. Not and focusing on making the people in office vote for things that actually are going to affect me. Well, I guess I take that back. I guess TikTok does affect you because remember they have that whole new social media lawsuit, right, with Facebook. So I guess it kind of does affect you. But I'll tell you what'll happen. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, you might be in on this too. You know what's going to happen if they close down with TikTok?
I hope they do.
All these social media influencers going to have to find new jobs.
You're fired.
They're going to have to find new jobs. All of your workout people going to have to find something else to do. Because it's hot out there.
Yeah, so out of everything that you just said, the only thing that I can agree with you with is that we need to get rid of the IRS because it's useless.
So you don't think we should focus on things that are actually going to affect us? You think we should just keep focusing on dumb stuff, right?
Getting rid of the IRS does affect us.
No, you said the only thing you agree with. So now you're just not even listening to what I'm saying.
Kind of, sort of. Just.
Now, what's funny, folks, in the past 15 seconds before we moved on, I went and looked at this list of the top 5 black comedians. Guess who's number 5?
Is that of all time or current?
This is all time. It has Bernie Mac and Eddie Murphy on it.
Oh, okay.
Number 1 is Richard Pryor, which nobody can dispute that. Dave Chappelle, number 2, don't necessarily agree with that. 3, Eddie Murphy. 4, Bernie Mac. 5, Chris Rock. 6, Martin Lawrence. 7, Cat Williams. 8, Kevin Hart. 9, Red Fox. Like, come on, y'all. Red Fox, number 9.
Chris Tucker at number 10. Oh, I don't agree with that.
Eddie Griffin, 11. Cedric the Entertainer, 12. Jamie Foxx, 13. Mike Epps, 14.
Okay, you can stop. I don't agree with that list at all.
The first female is at number 20. Wanda Sykes. I don't know who did this list. I need to see who did this list.
Anyway, so moving on. I guess we got to find out when we come back from this break, right?
Hey, you. Me? Yes, you. What up? Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Hell yeah! GLM Designs can help you with just that. Word? From laptop skins? You lying! Promotional flyers? Yo, son! Promo videos? I need that! OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds. Hey, yo, let me get that. Professional one sheets and so much more. Oh my God. Please visit our website, I'm on it right now. GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs. Get it? Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World. Follow it. GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. So let's hop right into it. Thank you for tuning in. For those that are tuning in that have not yet, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. We want to make sure that everybody's tuning in or enjoying the content that we're giving, and we're entertaining you guys. That's what we're here for. So, our topic of the day: Ja Morant,
the only man to make it to the NBA to want to go to the hood. Damn, we got 2 jackasses this week. I forgot about that.
There's a lot going on with Ja Morant. A lot.
Well, at least we know one thing. He won't be being in Glendale. They won't be pressing charges against him. So we know that.
And rumor has it that he might be serving a 50-game suspension.
I haven't seen that. I'm not even going to speak on that. I haven't seen that. The only thing I've seen.
I saw that yesterday.
I have not seen. The only thing I know is that the NBA did suspend him 2 games, and that the team said he's staying away till he get himself together.
Yeah.
So I have not seen anything about a 50-game suspension. That's just what I know. All I know is you need to get that circle from around you. That's around you, because you're going to end up another Gilbert Arenas where nobody's going to want you. Yeah. You got hell of a talent, my man.
And not saying that this is an excuse or whatever case may be, but talking to people from Memphis, they can see why he would carry that. But why would you travel with it is the question.
Well, wait, let's stop right there. First of all, there's been no confirmation of him carrying across state lines. There has not been any confirmation of that. So we do not know.
Well, isn't there a rumor that's going around right now talking about that he went to Denver with it on the team plane? That, like I said, that's a rumor I read and from the rumor mill or whatever, that when they had a game in Denver.
What do? I don't speak the rumors. I speak on what we actually have had confirmed. Because you start speaking rumors, and then that puts a little bit too much out there that there's no concern, no truth out of it. All we know is that he did have a gun
on Instagram
in a club in Colorado. So we know that's the only thing we can confirm. We can't say it's his gun because we don't even know if he has a registered gun. That's not been confirmed. They just know that he had a gun on video.
And if it is his, just so because I know for a fact, Tennessee, you don't need papers for it. It's open carry.
Right, kind of same thing here.
Yeah, same thing here. It's open carry state. So he might, if it is his gun, he might not need it.
I think Colorado might be too.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would think it's the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. But
that's a very good question to ask. But that also, okay, so let's just say it's not his gun. Where would he get it from in Colorado?
We got to remember, he had his posse with him again. Everywhere he goes, he has these posse of people that hype him up. You need to get out of that, because what's going to happen, young man, is going to take you down a road where you won't be able to recover from. When you fall, it's you that's falling. It's not them. It is you. You need to mature, because his statement that came out made no sense to me whatsoever. I've got to make, I've been through things in my life that people don't understand. It's like, huh? Dude, you went to a private school.
No, I think that's, are you talking about the thing that I sent you from Jalen Rose?
No.
Okay.
No.
He came out with a different statement?
No, Ja Morant came out with a statement talking about, I've been through things in my life that caused me to do, this, that, and make bad choices. And I'm thinking, you went to a private school.
And then Jalen Rose also came out with something where he said,
Jalen Rose finally came up with something that actually I paid attention to. I'll put it that way. This is the same dude that said you just pay $100 for a haircut. I'm sorry. You get a spray on lineup, you can't talk to me. But the fact that you came out and said, I am Ja Morant.
Yeah.
I came out of the hood.
Yeah, I came out of the hood. I was the one that was
I carried the strap. I did this every day of my life for years until I got there, and then I got to the league, and I realized I need to change some of the things I'm doing. That was him. That was Jalen Rose. Thank you for that. But at the same time, on Memphis Grizzlies, this is something I've been thinking about. Who is that guy? And what do I mean by that is, who is that guy in his ear on the team that's helping guide him? It doesn't seem like there's anybody there for him.
Because normally there's a veteran that takes on that role.
Right. Like when you go to Miami,
but Memphis doesn't have any veterans that's like that, though.
You only have Steven Adams. What is his name? They call him Aquaman. Steven Adams is there. And if you think about, is he still there?
No.
I didn't say, there's really nobody on the team then. I think about that. Like, wait a minute, is he still there? He's somewhere else.
No.
So even then, I think he was the one that probably was that ear for him. Because coming out of the Thunder, like he saw they had Kendrick Perkins there to help with the young guys coming in. And then, he went to Memphis and he was there for a while. But you need to have that ear. You need to get those people from around you. Matter of fact, I honestly think he needs to get away from his mother too. She's no help.
I think his father is who he needs to stay away from, to be honest with you.
Remember, the whole thing in the mall. The whole thing in the mall was because of who? Not his father, because of his mother. His mother, instead of calling her husband, she calls her son, and that's where the incident occurred at the mall.
Yeah, but I'm not even speaking on the mall thing. I'm talking more so that his father is more of a friend than a father at points in times. There's a point in time where you need to be a father. There's a point in time where you need to be a friend.
Here's the
you
thing.
Can't be both at the same time.
Here's what I will say. You say that, but I watched with my own eye. Morant When he looks at his dad, he still respects him more than anything. You think he's a friend? No, that's a respect thing that his son has for him, and he knows not to cross the line with his father. That's what that is. There is no thing as like his father being his friend. His father's supporting him in the league and doing what he's supposed to do as a father. When somebody gets out of line with his son, what does he do? He comes to his son's defense. Things like that. Now,
does he need to be in the clubs with his son, though?
Well, the whole
TMZ reported that there was a couple occasions they caught his dad out partying with his son and this, that, and everything else with the crowd of people that what you're talking about, John Morant hangs out with and stuff like that. Do you think he needs to stop doing less of that?
What I think his father is doing, again, is supposed to be I think up until his father starts drinking, he's okay.
Okay. I was hoping you would go there. I was hoping I would set you up to say that.
You didn't set me up at all, because I was going to say it regardless. Because if you look at him in the NBA games with no alcohol, he's very jovial. He's very, he's with the people. He's kissing babies.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. But the minute that liquor make him sicker, he's not the same man. So what his father probably needs to do is get control of that substance abuse, because I think he goes to the club with the intentions of looking out for his son. But the minute that liquor starts flowing and them spirits start hitting, he turns into what's his name, Mr. T. It goes from T. Morant to Mr. T. And then that's what needs to stop. I don't think he needs to stop going, because I think he goes there go to these clubs with the intent of his son to watch out for him and the people around him. What may be happening, and again, this is my speculation on this. He's like, no, he don't need that. No, he don't need that. Oh, come on, Mr. T. No, he don't need any of that. Well, actually, here you go. What's that? Oh, that's something for you. Oh, it is? All right, thank you. Start getting him, throw a couple shots back, couple things back. They get him all involved. Now, guess what? Now they can get to John Morant, because they got dad. They got dad out. They took care of daddy. Daddy's out of the picture. He's over there doing whatever. Now,
you don't really think that's what's going on and what's happening?
If you think about it, look at the timing of everything that's happening. And they've shown video that you want to talk about TMZ, talk about the whole video. Beginning of the club, what's his father doing? Looking as stoic as ever. Watching everything that's going on.
So let me ask you this then. I don't know if you heard the comments of what KP said, Kendrick Perkins. He basically said this is the prime reason why you just don't get black people any money. Which I was kind of thrown off by that.
I'm not. See, Kendrick Perkins, KP. You want to call him KP? I'll call him Kendrick by his government. Kendrick, I don't give a damn, ain't got no talent, Perkins. Yeah, you played the league, but you were carried. Your big ass was carried. I don't give a damn what he says. Everything he says is controversial. There's not a certain thing, not anything that comes out of that man's mouth that's not. He's another Stephen A. Same thing with Stephen A. No matter what comes out of your mouth is controversial. Why? You want to be a shock jock? Okay, be a shock jock. But Kendrick Perkins, seriously, Kendrick, shut up. I said, shut up. I don't want to. Why? I know the reason why they put you on TV because of what you say is just for shock value. There's nothing you say out of your mouth that I have actually agreed with, ever. I've never agreed with anything. Maybe because you're a Celtic. Maybe that's why. But I've never agreed with anything you said out of your mouth.
So you don't agree with him saying that Steph Curry should be an all-time scorer, the best three-point shooter in the league?
And then after that, he said,
go ahead.
After that, he said, I mean, if you're going to quote him, fully quote him.
I'm not quoting him directly. What did he say? I'm just remembering what he was talking about.
In that same sentence, he said, Steph should be, but his favorite is Ray Allen. That's what he said. So again, I don't agree with the damn thing he said. Steph is the greatest shooter. Even Ray Allen said that. If you look at Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and to an extent, although Mike don't want to say it, he's giving him his props. You can go down the list of all the veterans that come out and said it. So I'm going to go with what they say, opposed to Kendrick Perkins, who will never be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'll go with the Hall of Famers that.
You don't think KP will make the Hall of Fame?
He'll make the Hall of Very Good.
Okay.
Give me a stat that puts him in there, please.
There's not. I just asked your opinion.
No, you want to put him in the conversation because he's not even in the conversation. Give me a stat.
I never said he would. I never said he is a Hall of Famer. I just simply asked, so you don't think he would be in the Hall of Fame?
And I asked you, give me a stat that would make him eligible for the Hall of Fame. Give me a stat give me a stat from the Celtics that he set, a record that he set somewhere. Give me a stat that without him, the team wouldn't win. You can't think of a single one, can you?
I like the man's cut, the cut of his jib on what he says sometimes. Some things he says make sense. Some things, not everything. Mm-hmm. Some things make sense. Like this debate that he got going on with JJ Redick right now. He needs to go and sit down. But yeah, I mean,
JJ Redick is trying to just shed that image of being the All-American boy. That's all it is. He's trying to shed it. Remember in college, people forget in college he was a dirty player.
Yeah.
And then he cleaned up his image in the NBA, and everybody wanted him on their team and this, that, and now he's out of the league. He's trying to redo his image again to the bad boy. You're not the bad boy, dude. You're not that guy. You are not that guy. You never were. It's just that in college you could get away with stuff because you went to Duke. And even then, Coach K had to say, "Whoa, hey, that's not why I brought you here." But shout out to your Dukies. They swept Carolina this year. First time in forever.
First time in forever.
Don't mean they'll make the tournament. Well, they probably still will.
They'll still make the tournament, but they won't win.
They'll squeak in. They'll squeak in if they do.
They'll make the tournament,
but did North Carolina win it last year? Who won it last year?
Virginia.
Virginia won it last year?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me just double check.
So that would be 2-year titles for them? Anybody know the college champion last year? If you want to know, no, I did not watch March Madness last year. I think I watched maybe 3 games. That was it. Or was it Kansas?
It was Kansas. Kansas played UNC.
Okay. They made it, but they didn't win.
Yeah. That was last year. The year before that, Virginia won. Yeah. So, John Morant, I'm fighting for you, bro. I'm actually fighting for you to.
The championship was Baylor 2 years ago. It was Baylor Gonzaga.
When did Virginia win?
I think that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
I think it was 3 years ago. They won their first one. Remember the one year they got put out, the first 1 seed to ever get put out by 16, and then they came back and won it the following year.
So, but John Morant, I need you to do better, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm a fan of your game. I think you're one of the best in the league right now.
Here's what I'm going to say about this dude.
Let me finish real quick. Get your shit together. Get it together. Take this time, get your stuff together, and come back and be a beast that you are.
So there was a debate we had at work about who would have taken in that draft number 1. Everybody was talking about Zion.
No.
I said it should be John Morant. They said, really? I was like, he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Zion, too. I was like, Zion's not going to make it 5 years in the league.
Playing the way that he played, and this man didn't even make it 3.
No, it's not even playing the way he played. He's too big. He needs to trim down. He needs to get off that New Orleans cooking. He needs to get a nutritionist, trim it down. You're 6'9". So I think you should be playing at the same weight that LeBron plays at, or lower. Because during the year, your weight's going to fluctuate.
Yeah.
Come in at 6'9", come in at 240. That's about 20, 30 pounds lighter than what you are. A lot of those hamstring injuries you won't be having. You're probably spending too much time in the weight room. Let's get out of that. Let's start doing yoga. Let's start doing flexion exercises. That way you won't have this. Because he's out another 2 weeks as of today. They came out and said he's going to be out 2 more weeks. This guy has so much damn talent. But like I said, in that draft, I would take a John Morant first. Because he's a generational talent. He's the one. Look at him. He took Memphis as a 2 seed last year, right? Or 1 seed.
And he's in the right system.
Well, the thing is, he's one of those guys, I don't think it matters for the system.
You don't think so?
I don't think the system matters for him. He's one of those guys, I think he can adapt his game no matter where it went, wherever it goes. Look at what he was in Murray State.
Now, if he played under Popovich, guaranteed championship.
They have to have other pieces.
Yeah, of course.
No,
but I'm just saying.
I wouldn't say guaranteed championship, but I can guarantee he would still make the playoffs because he's that guy. He is that guy.
Okay.
Because think about it. His rookie year, they almost made the playoffs.
So if Ja didn't get in trouble, do you think Memphis will go deep into the playoffs this year?
Not the way the West is loaded now.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Yes. The West is so loaded.
But you know what's funny? Here's think about this timeline of events. He jinxed himself. Because remember when they started making, they brought D'Lo to the Lakers and all of those people, and then KD coming west, and then everybody moving west. And he said, they asked him, "Are you worried now?" "No, we good." Ever since he made that statement, no, it's been downhill ever since.
Now, here's my question though. Even though Ja takes this time off, let's just say that him taking this time off makes him a better person. Is he still considered a liability in the NBA?
Don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. He's already got an extension with Memphis, so liability or not, he's in Memphis.
Okay.
You got to remember that he signed the extension, rookie extension already. So liability or not, Memphis is with him. So he's got a
morality clause that's in the contract with the NBA contract. So you don't think they're going to try to use that?
I don't know if there's a morality clause in every contract. You got to remember with the Players Association, they spoke very lowly of those morality clauses. So we don't know if there's so we don't know if there's any clauses in his contract. We don't know that, which we could probably check it out and see. But at the same time, when he comes back, one, he ain't taking. Here's a couple things to think about. The NBA season is really long, right? Mm-hmm. So two things are happening right now. His body's healing. You know he's got a lot of bumps and bruises.
Correct.
His body's healing.
Do you think he'll be back for the playoffs?
I think that they're aiming for it.
I think he's done for the season, bro. I think they're going to make an example of him and sit him down for the rest of the season. The NBA.
The NBA already said he's only done for 2 games. They only gave him 2 games. It's like you keep coming out the NBA. The NBA.
But the NBA, just like any organization, they can go back and retract what they said and add more time. Just like the NFL does all the time.
So you're looking at
the NFL is known for doing that.
I'm trying to think of the time they recanted and changed. They never recanted and changed. They just added. They explained why they added. After further investigation, they added. NBA does not do that. Want to know why? Because the Players Association has a lot more power than the NFL Players Association. You want to talk about that for a minute? We can. Think about this. The collusion for how everybody was talking about Lamar Jackson this. Oh, he could go to the Panthers. He could go to the Falcons. He could go to this. What happened yesterday at 4 p.m.? The Falcons were the first team to come out and say, we got other things we need to take care of. We're not going for him. Panthers came out and said, no, we're good. Teams that need quarterbacks. So you want to talk about the collusion of a league? The NFL is colluded not to make sure this man does not get a guaranteed contract, a fully guaranteed contract, because the Browns screwed the league. Now, you want to talk about collusion in the NBA? Who runs that league?
As far as the Players Association?
No. Who runs the NBA?
LeBron.
No, the players. The players run that league. You want to know how? Kevin Durant. I don't want to be here. I want to go to Phoenix. Oh, okay. You don't want to be here? Cool. Got you. Kyrie. I don't want to be here. Well, you're not going to the Lakers, but we'll send you to Dallas. James Harden. I don't want to be here anymore. Okay. Where do you want to go? Philadelphia? Got you. You're over there. The players run the NBA. That's the difference. That's why the NBA could not go back and say, you know what? We're going to suspend you 2 games, and then we're going to add 50. They're not going to be able to do that. The Players Association won't let it. They will not let it happen. However, the team, this is where the collusion comes into play, if you want to talk about it.
I think the team's going to sit them down for the rest of the year.
Here's what ended up happening. If they do that, again, the Players Association will come out and say, what facts do you have to put him out that long? If he's done, just like how they came to fight for Kyrie Irving afterward. Like, wait a minute, you're making him jump through all these hoops
over the
over the video,
vaccination.
Not over the vaccination, over the movie that he made a statement on about it.
Oh, okay.
Remember, they sat him down, and then after everything happened, The owner's like, well, oh, he's done everything he needs to do. But we never saw an apology from him. They just let him back on because the Players Association put pressure. The players run the NBA. The owners, the governors, they don't call them owners. The governors, yeah, they got all the money in the deep pockets, but the players tell them what's going on.
We'll see if they listen or not. We'll see what happens.
But what I was going to say before you said that, the NBA probably more than likely went to the Grizzlies front office and said, look, we can only do 2 games, but y'all need to do something to hold him out for a while. Let him get his stuff together because he's headed down the wrong path. Grizzlies are probably like, you got a point there. So they probably went to John and said, we want you to make a public statement. You're the face of this franchise. Many of your children look up to you.
So when do you think he comes back?
It'll be probably playoffs.
You think he'll be back playoffs? Okay, so he says playoffs. I don't think he'll be back this season. I think he might be back in next season. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm not talking personal. I'm looking at the business side. The Grizzlies do not want to.
They can't afford to have him out. They definitely can't.
Here's what you got to think, too. The color of his skin in Memphis is a big factor. Are you really going to hold him out that long after you're starting to get a big backing from the black community?
We'll see.
You're not going to do that. Especially right now. That city is hurting so bad with everything that's been going on negatively. The one positive thing that they had in that city screwed up. And you want to hold him out after he's already done what he's done, when he's done his retreat or whatever he's doing with therapy. You want to hold him out?
So I don't know if this is clickbait or not, but there's a possibility that
this is the worst case scenario. So it's not saying
worst case scenario that possibly could happen. I don't know. But one thing that we do know is that he could, again, emphasize on could, face a lengthy suspension more than the 2 games based on
remember
what the league says.
It's not see what is it 2-game ban? They didn't say suspension.
Yeah.
It's a 2-game ban. That's why I said they can't go back on that. They can change things to a suspension, but they can't go back and say,
so based off that, that's why I'm gonna
But the thing is they have to have all of their ducks in a row. The reason why they said maybe, because they have to have all their ducks in a row for the Players Association to come out and say that's acceptable.
We'll see. We'll see.
And what will happen is, check this out. If they do it, they may have to retro it. If they didn't do it 50, they're going to have to retro it to this year, to the first game he was out. Another thing to think about.
Yeah, and then he'll miss part of the season for.
Well, it depends on how long they go in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if they go, say.
Well, would they count the playoffs?
Yeah.
They would count the playoffs?
They would definitely count.
Okay.
Well,
because I don't know, because the NFL doesn't count playoff games, and other sports don't count in playoff games as well, like baseball. You know what I mean? They don't count.
Whoa.
No, baseball doesn't. I can't talk. Derek Jeter was suspended for.
Derek Jeter?
Not Derek Jeter. What the fuck was it? Who got suspended for 60 games in MLB right before that team was supposed to go to the playoffs, and they didn't even count the playoff games.
And remember, they got slack from that from the MLB Players Association. They had to pay him.
They did?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
A-Rod.
Was it A-Rod?
It was A-Rod. They tried not to pay him for those playoff games, and they said, well, since you're not going to count the playoff games, because the Players Association is like, if the games aren't counting, why is he not allowed to play? And that set a whole new precedent. Like, well, we got to rethink this.
So you think that he'll be back for the playoffs? Okay, so let's just say that they do regular season and Memphis makes the playoffs. What kind of precedent does it set to have this man still play during the playoffs?
That's the same thing as in the NFL. Somebody that gets suspended, or as far as baseball, for PEDs and was eligible for awards.
Okay, fair point.
We've seen that happen a few times. Or somebody gets suspended in the NBA, and then they come back, oh, you're eligible for this award.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. But you missed 22 out of 82 games.
Anthony Davis. Anyway,
well, he never won Defensive Player of the Year.
No, he never did. I'm just throwing his name out there.
He must have Kawhi in there too.
You might as well. Shoot.
If y'all wonder, every time somebody mentions Anthony Davis, I always bring up Kawhi. I always do. Because they always want to focus. Because the Lakers, I mean, you got two teams in that town, Clippers and the Lakers. right now, who's the hottest ticket?
I don't. You know what? I've talked to a couple of people that are Laker fans and Clipper fans. And
Wait, they're both?
No.
Oh, I was
going to say some Clipper fans, some
Right,
Laker
right.
fans, right? Right now, some Laker fans are saying that the Clippers right now are the hottest ticket in LA.
That's a lie.
Until
That's a lie. That is a lie. Here's what I want to tell you. Because the Lakers just went from 13th seed to 9th seed.
Yep.
Now 4.5 out. The Clippers.
I thought they were 3.5 out.
No, they're 4.5 out.
4.5
out. The Clippers are going the wrong way.
They're going the wrong way. Yeah.
Ever since they picked up Westbrook, they're going the wrong way.
So we'll see. Lakers could possibly still make the playoff.
Well, they're in the play-in. They're in the play-in right now.
They'll make a play-in. I don't see
that's a dangerous team, especially they're doing this without LeBron. That's what people understand. They're doing this without LeBron.
Isn't AD out too?
No, AD. He just had 30 and 22 last night.
Oh, last night there was okay. So I didn't watch last night game, but the game before last, him and LeBron were sitting out,
and they won, and they still won. That's
won.
the second time.
That was on Sunday. Yeah. They beat Golden State.
So
Yeah,
they've got a better team now and a scarier team because they look like they're having fun. There is no. All right, here's the thing. I'm not going to say.
I don't think they could get past Sacramento right now. The way Sacramento's balling.
Okay, right. What I'm going to say is, without Westbrook in that locker room, it's a different dynamic.
Of course,
they are
any team without Westbrook.
No, what I mean is there's better ball movement. There's better defense. They're talking to each other on both sides of the floor. And the youth they put into this team is ridiculous. Between Rui Hachimura and you know who else has been missing? We haven't mentioned D'Angelo Russell. He's played 2 games with the team.
He's played damn good ball. I question their depth.
Well, I don't because they're playing with the depth right now. How are you going to question it now? And they're winning without it. We're winning without their stars. They're winning with the bench. We're winning with a guy, Jared Vanderbilt, who'll get you 4 points and 8 rebounds one night, and then 15 rebounds and 12 points the next night. Or 0 points and 7 rebounds, or 2 rebounds. So they're winning with people like that. If you can do that consistently, that means your team dynamic. You're looking at a potential dangerous team going to play. Now, coming back to you don't think they can beat Sacramento? Sacramento does not want to see LA.
No, they don't.
They do not because there's no way. Because they've got some good pieces, but what LA is doing is showing you we are complete. They believe in their coach, and the coach believes in them. He puts them in spots to win. I'm glad we're getting to see now what the Lakers are all about.
Now, how far do you think the Lakers go? Because I don't see them going to the Western Conference Finals.
To be honest with you, I could see them going that far with LeBron out. If you take LeBron and put him out there with this team right now, they could damn sure make the finals. Because first,
but you just got them saying how stacked the West is right now. It's kind of hard to say that.
But also, you're looking at the preeminent basketball player of the league right now.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna take it like this. I'll take it one further. The all-time NBA leading scorers coming back into.
I knew you was gonna go there.
I'll go there. And now here's the thing: I ain't a LeBron fan. I'm a Laker fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron lover. But the truth of the matter is, the team is better. This team here is better with him out there. Way better with him out there. It's just scary to me that he's getting healthy. He's doing the rehab. And he's biting at the chomp to get out there.
I honestly can't wait to see what the Suns do in this playoff run. I went on record and I said this before. I would be highly surprised, so surprised to the point where tears will come to my eyes if we actually win the chip this year. I'm not expecting it. It's the highest expectation in the league right now that KD is on the Suns. Oh, KD is on the Suns. They got to win the chip this year. They have to.
This year, next year. But
I think it's next year. I don't think it's this year.
Here's my thought process. Let Chris Paul go. Bring in Fred VanVleet. That'll put you in the championship.
I don't think we'll make the champ. We could possibly make the finals this year. I don't see us winning it, though. Not against the East, not against a team like Milwaukee right now, and definitely not a team against Boston right now. And there's some teams that's right behind them as well. But next year, absolutely. Next year, definitely. I think next year is a championship or bust for the Suns. But this year, I don't know.
This year, see how far you can go.
Exactly. That's exactly where I'm at with that.
This is see how far you can go, which I think
we go deep in the playoffs, but I don't think
some shortcomings. Chris Paul will stop the team from going too far. That's your Achilles heel, Chris Paul, the point guard position. That's why I said you let him go, you bring in Van Vliet.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
That gives you shooting, defense, and he's still a great player. He's still a great defender. He's still a great shooter, and he's a good facilitator. You get rid of Chris Paul, and you'll save on salary, so you can get other pieces on the bench to protect.
And that was my other concern: is our depth
bench. Yep, that's why I said that. That's exactly why I said that. Because what people don't realize, when you go back to that Golden State juggernaut,
they had a bench. They had a bench. Andre Iguodala. Who is what's his name? Freeman? I think his name was not Freeman. What was the tall, lanky dude? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, but they had a bench that was so deep.
But the whole thing is, you're talking about Iguodala. When Iguodala was only there for a year after Durant got there, the next year when they won the championship.
I'm talking about pre-Durant.
Oh no, I'm talking about I'm talking about the juggernaut. That wasn't the juggernaut. I'm not talking about the 73-9. 73-19 wasn't a juggernaut because what they did was they tried so hard for that, it hurt them in the playoffs because they were so worn down.
Yeah.
And then of course the controversy with Draymond getting taken out of the game, and that's when the series that was it.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about the what if scenarios of when Golden State won their first title. How about the what if scenario if they were all healthy?
I'm glad that you brought up when they first won their championship. The very first one that they won was Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Iggy,
Draymond, yeah.
Do you think that was Mark Jackson's team, or do you think that was really Steve Kerr's ring to win?
That was Bob Myers' team.
Okay. Okay.
It's funny you want to say that, and if you talk to Mark Jackson, it's like, well, we were just a couple pieces short, and I was on the verge of doing something. No, you weren't. You were running Steph into the ground, and they saw it. You were running Klay Thompson. You weren't playing Klay Thompson. You didn't know what the hell to do with Draymond. So you want to talk about it with his team. He had pieces there he didn't know what to do with.
Okay. Fair enough.
So to answer your question, no. It wasn't his team. It was Bob Myers' team. Bob Myers built that team, and he saw they could only go so far with Mac Jackson. Yeah, you got us to the playoffs. Thank you for that. What's next? We gave you these pieces. Use them. Oh, you can't do it? Okay, good.
We'll find somebody.
Exactly. We'll find somebody that can do it. Why do you think he's not gotten a job again?
Well, folks, what episode? I know we went over on time today, but thank you for sticking with us.
What's the reason for that, folks? Next week.
Oh, yeah. No show next week.
It'll be a repeat show.
So, I know exactly what show we're going to put for next week, too.
You do know we're still live.
I do. Yeah. And we're about to. So, folks, thank you for tuning in to another great episode. Again, we will not be on live next week, but we will have a show to bring you next week. And we will definitely get that to you next Wednesday, as of every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. Make sure you share this podcast. New reels coming out next week. Until 2 weeks from now. Right? 2
weeks from now. 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a special guest.
Forgot about that. Who is it? I guess you got to tune in to find out. Peace.